What's up, guys? Welcome to PBJJF Podcast. Today we have a pleasure here to speak with Mike. Mike is one of the youngest black belts, that started so young and was able to keep his journey through, and we're still on the mats teaching, training. And he'll be also competing at PBJJF Worlds. That's such a great opportunity to watch him competing and showcase his talent.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys for having me.
Always, man. Always.
Appreciate
Thank
to have
you.
On the podcast with us, guys.
Before we start,
Before we start,
shout out for our sponsors now. Yeah, Parks Dental Care. If you in the Baltimore area, look for a dentist. He's the best guy in the area. Also, he do mouth guards to jiu-jitsu, football, MMA. He can cleaning like mold on your own size. That's really important. And
if you don't have the mouth guard and then you break your teeth, where do you go?
Parks Dental Care. You'll be a little bit more expensive than your prevent now. Better you do the mouth guard and don't break your teeth. You will save money, not gonna hurt you. It's way better if you prevent. And also Santos Law Farm in the right time. It was the best law service, especially for immigrations, like athletic. It's really good. We use Santos Law Farm on our company. We use on my school. JP use on his school with his employees.
Any type of immigration service.
Yeah.
They have different teams, right, Max? We had a meeting with Flavia. She's the owner of the company. And they have specific teams. She has 50 people on her team.
Wow. Just
focus on immigration to really find the best for each client. Last but not the least, is that how you say?
Yes.
Brave Gimenis, the best jiu-jitsu gi in the market.
Yes, sir.
Hey, if you wanna if you wanna support the podcast, Max, what do you do?
First thing, like this video. That's the first way and easy way to support. Subscribe on the channel. You can be a special member, and if you go on to Brave Kimonos and use your code PBJJF10, you get 10% off, and also you support our team.
Yeah.
Good.
And if you also purchase any products, go to any of our sponsors. They really make this happen, guys. This podcast is possible because of their support, So, and we have a new sponsor coming to the new diamond sponsor coming to PBJJF. We're gonna release that soon. There's some companies that reach out to us, like Mercedes-Benz, Nike. Who else, Max? They reach
One
out.
day get there.
Big bucks.
Best Buy,
Red Bull. we're still seeing if they're the best fit for the company. That's we really care about but serious. We really care about the companies that represent that. Many people already reach out to us, but wasn't the best fit to connect our name with. So really, you guys can really trust the people that we put in this podcast on PBJJF. We are very worried about the people that we bring to the podcast. It's not like just all right, you pay, you go. No, there's we usually do business already with those companies. There's something that we already do and we trust. So you go and maybe you can go to their social media. Go and mention that you saw their business in the podcast.
Yeah.
That's a support.
That's a good way to support for sure.
A little text message or message to them.
They saw your brand on the PBJJF podcast.
The guy really represents it well, and I think that's the easiest way to support guys. And we're putting a lot of. You guys have no idea how much work we put in this. It's so much work that we want to quit every day. But we can't anymore. Now we're
episode 53 already.
Yeah. And then behind the podcast we have the tournaments, and we have so many other things, behind the scenes that you guys don't see. And yeah, if you guys can give the support, make sure you share, tell everybody, do whatever you can. And if you want to be the best athlete, you gotta win PBJJF, man. To showcase your skills and to compete against the best, you gotta do PBJJF. So this weekend, tomorrow, we're doing a New Jersey Open in a very nice spot. I heard, I've never been there, but it's like a resort,
Nice.
Herons Resort. Everybody, man, it's not such a nice place. I'm almost I'm almost
it's a good thing
going
to
to the
go
resort.
there, compete, stay on the resort one day, hang out.
When we started, you were talking about you guys are going to have the World Championships possibly at UMD.
Yeah, so
It's
we're
a
looking
very nice
for.
spot.
Yeah, we're definitely we're actually looking to the arena. So we want to bring the worlds for one arena.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what the main work for worlds is getting the arena booked. So it will be really nice, and we want to spotlight the champions. That's the goal. And I don't know if you saw, but for PBJJF Worlds, absolute division to start, we're gonna have the belt.
Oh, nice.
I don't know if
I
you
saw the
that.
medals. I didn't see the
medals.
The medal was looking good too, man.
Yeah, the medals.
Oh my god.
I don't know if I'm big enough yet to do absolutely.
But the
Maybe I was thinking about. I don't know if I'll sign up or not. I need to be the first world champion and done on my federation. Bring the bell home.
but one thing, our goal, the long term goal is creating entertainment day for people.
The black belts.
Black belt division,
Or you just do a separate. No, sorry, cut you, man.
No, you can go.
Yeah, the idea is do in a separate day, maybe on a Sunday. Just the finals. Do a showcase, kind of all the events you saw before, Fight to Win, BDD Stars. One fight each time. All the attention for these finals live stream. Yeah, we do it already live stream now, but do more a show than just a final.
That'd be awesome.
That's our goal for a future of worlds, and maybe not only worlds, maybe the Grand Slam events.
Yeah.
So next year the plan is
Pan Am's,
American National, and
Worlds,
and hopefully maybe Brazilian National.
Maybe Brazilian
right?
National, yeah.
So,
Have you guys done a tournament in Brazil?
Not yet. Next 2 years is our goal.
Cool.
Yeah, we try to figure it out. It's hard. It's really.
I'm sure.
It's different than we close here now. It's easy to figure out everything. When you're far away, it's it's not the same.
Right.
We need to find the right people in Brazil to help us.
Man, we have a lot of students. Well, not just my students, Professor Vicente's students that compete at PBJJF a lot. This whole year,
all
they've
the
been
time.
competing a lot. I don't know. I'm not sure if they're signing up under Conquest PBJ or Vicente Junior team, but
They started doing a Conquest, and now everybody sign up on a Vicente Junior. Yeah. I feel like the affiliation's doing awesome the same way, because before they was doing Battle House,
right.
Conquest, all the the Guardian, and now all
Altogether.
together. It's smart. Yeah, it's more points for the team. Gotta.
We have a lot of kids that go. Big kids group
And
that goes.
it's opportunity to put the name in the legacy of PBJJF, because the champions at this tournament are going to be in the history forever at PBJJF. The pace we're growing. Sometimes I'm scared of the pace that we're growing, and every time we we're kind of comfortable.
Something
We
happen.
can, like, all right, let's go to Texas. Let's go to Florida. Like, how are we gonna do Texas? How are we gonna do Florida? Hey, let's go to Brazil. I'm 100% sure 2025 Mexico and I are gonna talk like, hey, Europeans, right? All right, hey. And
That's
then,
the idea.
right,
Asia, let's
Asian,
go to Asia.
You know, like
It's a good sign you guys are growing. Though,
you know, that's the and bringing more people to the team. You know,
Yeah.
people that are around us. And yeah, that's kind of like the idea, you know, like every time we start getting like comfortable, like we find a way of like
To push ourselves.
to be uncomfortable.
to don't sleep for a couple of days.
Sure.
But like, let's talk a little bit about your journey, man. How you start on jiu-jitsu. You like a young guy, black belt already with a lot of responsibility on the team. I want to know what bring you to jiu-jitsu now.
Yeah, so it's actually a funny story. I was pretty young when I first started. I was about 6, 7. It was 2006 when I started. I had a friend. His dad was actually the Taekwondo Olympic instructor for the women's team on the U.S. team. And his dad kind of knew about a lot of the martial arts, obviously really good at Taekwondo. And at the time, I started Taekwondo when I was 4. Didn't really enjoy it. Was just doing it for the martial art. And I met my friend that same year in school. We became pretty close, and his dad actually invited me on the back side of the Taekwondo gym in a very small room, probably about the same size as like maybe half the size of this room here. They were doing kids jiu-jitsu. There was a brown belt at the time, John Garfield. So I started, and after the first day, man, I loved it. I kept doing it. Competed that following year. Actually won gold in Naga 2007. I was looking at that medal the other day. I was like, man, I've been competing for a while.
That's cool.
That's how I started. And John Garfield was, we were just talking about this. John Garfield was under McGilla at the time. And McGilla was one of the very few black belts in Maryland. This was, like I said, 2007, 2008. And some things that happened, we ended up splitting off and getting under Pedro Sauer. But yeah, that's how I started, under John Garfield.
That's cool, man. That's awesome. I was started very young too, but not 6, like around 10, 11. Yeah. My brother started like
You
4
started
years old.
6? You said 6?
6.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm 24 now. So I'm going on 18 years now.
You get the black belt 22?
20.
20?
20.
Oh,
Right
that's
before I
awesome.
turned 21.
That's awesome, man.
Right before I turned 21.
That's awesome.
And how was your transition to, how did you meet Professor Vicente and the whole team? How was that transition
Yeah,
for you?
so at the time, like I said, John Garfield they weren't really like a competitive school. It was very like self-defense. I was one of the few people that would even go and compete. So I kind of brought that spotlight onto the gym, and I started getting some more following. But I mean, once I got to like 11, 12 years old, I was able to do pretty well against the adults at the gym. So I needed to find like a better challenge. Professor Vicente actually had some of his friends, I'm sure you guys know Samir Chantre, Casino. They were doing like a no-gi pans camp at Conquest. And they were doing flyers, I think it was on Facebook. My dad saw it and was like, let's go there. Let's see. These guys look legit. They're serious. Really good. World champion, pan champion. So I ended up going there, and dude, they beat me up. I was like 14 at the time, and I remember not even trying. Just, you guys know, a super high level black belt just destroyed me, beat me up. Even some of their purple and blue belts, which at the time I was beating purple and blue belts at my gym. So I come here, and it was a big difference. So actually it was that no-gi pans camp, and then the day after, we contacted Professor Vicente, and I started training with him. So like 14 to now, I've only been with him.
That's good. Looks like your parents support you a lot too, like invest, bring for the tournaments. That's cool.
Yeah, my dad and my mom and my grandfather. My grandfather actually recently passed away at the beginning of this year, but he was a big part of me traveling, competing. He was like my sponsor, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
We call in Brazil, como é que fala?
Como é que é em português?
Tipo, o pai, quando o pai patrocina. Patrocínio.
Patrocínio.
We call patrocínio.
Okay.
That's called like when your daddy support you for a while, and then
Right.
that all my houses was the same too, like always. One time I have like a funny story. I come to I think the first time I competed in the worlds, and man, my dad he collect all the money he has, like put all together and like. Son, that's just not much, but that's everything I have. And this like on the time, you don't understand what I'm like 17 years old. I'm like, okay, daddy. And for real, I get a little bit upset because I was like, fuck, that's like $300, goddamn. Then I can do nothing with that money. But now I saw like all the work he did to put that money together, to help me to come to give me the opportunity, and means a lot. Do you understand?
Now that I'm, like you said, 17, 16, you don't understand, but now I'm getting a little older. I have to, some bills that I pay for. I still live with my parents, but some bills that I pay for, and pay for registration, flights, hotels. Stuff gets expensive, man.
Yeah, man.
Quick, very quick.
True.
And I think I'm very blessed to be able to do it through jiu-jitsu. I work some like side jobs, stuff like this, but my main thing is jiu-jitsu. I teach jiu-jitsu, I teach kids, I teach adults, and I'm very happy that I'm able to make enough to support my goals through jiu-jitsu.
Nice.
So it's really good.
And you work with your parents.
I do.
Right?
Yeah, you can.
And you drink acai every day, right?
Acai every day, even when I'm cutting weight sometimes.
Shout out to Smooth King.
Smooth King.
I go to the store. I think your family is right by the Ogogi.
Yeah.
Savannah Park.
Mm-hmm.
I came to the store. Your cousin. No,
yeah, sister, cousin, my mom, my dad.
Like, it's like a family business. That's awesome.
You do jiu-jitsu? I think I had a shirt or something.
My cousin. Yeah, she told me about this. Yeah.
I was like, oh, you got your ear. I was like, hey. I was like, oh, my cousin trains. I didn't know it was you. My cousin trains. He has a ear like that. I was like, he's not good at jiu-jitsu. If you have your ears like this, you just get beat up. At this point, getting beat up.
She came and told me that. She was like, yeah, this guy said you weren't good because you had a bad ear.
That's right.
He's right.
But it's just from being smashed, right?
Yeah.
And training, Max was a small guy, growing up too, and you get smashed.
Too much smash. Right? That's normal.
I have it on one ear, so you know which side I'm gonna pass to. My left ear. It's the side I put my head down.
Yeah.
Right,
like over
under pressure.
Yeah.
That's true. And
mine's this side too, a little bit.
So, what were the challenges like from being a kid? And jiu-jitsu was not as developed in Maryland, and there was probably not much
kids class
training, right?
No. So I had two other kids at the time. My friend that I started with, and some other kid. The one kid was like a yellow belt. At the time, there was no gray belt. I'm sure you guys knew when you first started, it was like white, yellow, orange.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Barely green. I never saw a green belt at the time.
I been like on the watership belt like for 4 years.
Exactly.
Because like
me too.
There's no competition on the green belt in other schools. Nobody get it, and then like one more year on the green to get Asian off to get the blue belt, and also get the blue belt. I was 14, because like
I was 15.
It's like not challenge anymore. My coach like, okay, let's get the blue belt, and I start to. Now we can do this, we gotta fight on your age, but on that time you can move around, and I start to fight in a juvenile. Was like a 14.
At 15, I started competing as an adult.
Me too.
Some
local tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
You guys know Grapplers Quest?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was like a big tournament when I was younger. But yeah,
they're big, I remember.
Yeah,
they were. I don't know if they don't have anymore.
They don't have anymore. Yeah, after COVID, they stopped.
Yeah, so like Naga's Grapplers Quest were really big at the time. But yeah, I mean it was tough. Like you guys said, like I didn't have any kids to train with. I had just those two for some time, and we were competing. We were just two of us, and we had a brown belt instructor, and we were competing. I was doing okay. They have like novice, beginner, intermediate, advanced. So I was more in the novice, beginner range. So I started off like with some good confidence, and I'm sure you guys are very familiar with the Lloyd Urban team.
Yeah.
I was always competing against some of their kids, and they have a really good team. They had a big team. They
do like the homeschool things,
Yeah,
and they
I have some students that are just homeschool and just
they
train.
Collect
That's pretty good.
But yeah, it was like competing against those guys, and that was tough, man. That's when it got real, and I really started to enjoy competing because it got hard. And those guys were great, and inspired me to work harder, train harder, and that's when I started doing the adult class. I was 9, 10 years old at the time, getting smashed. We were talking about that earlier, just getting smashed by the adults, but it's what made you tougher, stronger.
Mm-hmm.
Probably why my back hurts today.
Many people quit it throughout
Yep.
that process,
for sure.
right? Like,
For sure.
Like I think back in the day, we didn't have as much process and methodology like you have.
For
nowadays.
sure, it's like no methodology for especially for kids.
Yep.
Just throw that, who survive,
Yeah.
get promoted, and keep it doing. Who's
That's
You,
exactly
gi-
what it
you
was
gave
for
a
me.
little bit harder for a little bit hard time for an adult. They would like try to
Yeah.
crush you and give everything.
I have a funny history too. I went to a lot of histories today. I was like a kid, this guy Claudio, his name, Claudio Barbosa. I can't forget. Yeah, I was like 14 years old, blue belt. Every time I wrote here, he reached to lock me like 4 or 5 times. 4 or 5 times.
Sneaky.
Every time like pa 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 ha 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 ha. He was back. He take my back and he keep like playing with me now. Like your mom smells so good today. Blah blah blah. Like tell something. I'm like so mad, like angry now. I'm like motherfucker. And times pass. I move from my city to another city, and then I come back after. But I back train on the head corner from Jeff Team. I was like purple belt already. Like no. I think it was a brown belt already, brown belt, and he showed up on the head corner one day. I'm like, it's my time now. I don't say nothing. But, hey man, how are you? Long time I don't see you. Blah 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 blah. First round, he wasn't turning. Boom, jump on his front. Man, I tried to kill him. You understand? Everything he do, I'm like fly arm bar, boom, jump it, pass the guard, take his back. I tap him like 6 times, I think so. And I'm like, what happened, boy? Like I'm old. I'm like, yeah, okay, that you old now, but you don't remember when I was a kid. You tap me like on the wrist, lock all the time, talk crazy things on my ear, and like Julio says, and all the other instructors like laugh, and like it's a funny thing. I'm like, okay, who spank forget, who gets spanked never forgot.
Exactly.
That's a lesson for you guys that trains with kids.
Yes.
They're gonna turn into monsters.
Yes.
Don't forget it. I
Me
see
and
you.
Professor have talked about this many of times. I mean, when I was a blue belt, he still beats me up today. Don't get me wrong. Professor VJ will armbar me whenever he wants. But when I was younger, it was a little bit easier. I think it's a little bit harder now.
And
But
like you
we
have
talk
a
about
lot
our
of
students.
kids, right?
Yes.
They're growing. Like I see that the Elijah.
No, Elijah
Man,
scared me.
he's
Yes,
my
Elijah's
size
a beast.
already.
But like 6 months ago, he was a kid.
Yep.
And he like just
He's
boom.
way taller than me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know if you guys know Bane.
Ben,
Hughes.
yeah.
Bane's a
Ben.
monster. He's taller than me now
True.
too. Jason Chi.
Mm-hmm.
Some of those guys. He's
Gabriel.
17. Gabriel.
Gabriel's like only 13 now,
13,
I think
but
so.
he's
And he's like, yeah.
Looks like I just told him yesterday we were training. I was like, "You're a 13-year-old in a 20-year-old body."
And
jacked.
I really hope to see those kids growing into the PBJJF platform. Like them to become the new Tainan
Right.
in the PBJJF
Platform.
Because we want to build our champions. We want to build them growing into the ecosystem of PBJJF. That'll be great because this is gonna happen. We know, like those kids are gonna be like the black belts, the next generation, and they're gonna be the one that other people look up to. Like we're really working to make to see this happening. Like you became. Some people talk here.
No, Professor VJ.
Professor
Good morning,
VJ.
guys. Michael is the best. I met Professor VJ on a breed these days. Like on Saturday, I think so. I was in the car chilling, and he put his stroke on my side. You go too fast, Max. I'm like, oh my God. Because like he has his window closed, and he started
Beeping the horn.
yeah, and then like I'm like, what this guy want, man? And then he turned
Look over.
like, hey, what's up?
Actually, I was talking to him, I think yesterday or the day before, about like the growth of Jiu-Jitsu and PBJJF and the expansion. Like he really. I talked to him like he gave us a tip right in the beginning of PBJJF. He came to me, JP. Why don't you guys have the separate trophy for kids and adults? I was like,
That's true.
True.
Yep.
Should
And we
have-
start to do.
like those tips. Like we're still open to talk to him. We're still open to improve.
Super
like
smart.
every
Yeah.
day. But so How was for you like start training with Professor VJ? You know, how were the challenge for you changing and finding the tougher training partners? How
I
was
feel like
that
when I
for you?
first met Professor Vicente, he was right when he was competing a lot. He was doing a lot of world championships, pan championships. He had won quite a few before I met him, but he was taking his training very, very serious at the time. So we had classes. It was very intense. It was a lot more intense, a lot more drilling, a lot more rolls, obviously with better people, better technique. And I think that just made me want to keep training, made me want to keep coming back, but made me better. Like I wasn't getting that from the gym before. I wasn't getting it anywhere else. And once I started training with him, it was totally different feel of jiu-jitsu. And like I said, if you start training with a super high level black belt, you can feel the difference when you're just rolling with just I don't like to say regular black belt or a hobbyist black belt, but someone that's just doing it for fun, just like enjoys jiu-jitsu, compared to someone that is doing it for a living, that really, really wants to win. It's a total different feel. So that was a big jump for sure.
That's when this help like you keep growing your techniques too,
Yes.
like get better.
At the time, I'm still pretty flexible. I've always used my flexibility, but like I didn't have much technique with it. I was just kind of like trying not to get smashed by the heavy guys or the adults because I was a kid at the time, and he helped me a lot put technique with my flexibility. I think De La Riva guard was like a perfect fit. And obviously under Professor De La Riva and Professor Vicente was a great fit. But yeah.
And you still use a lot De La Riva,
For sure.
on these
For
days.
sure. Always.
That's cool.
And Professor Vicente is known for his arm bars.
Oh yeah.
Did you get a lot of tips on the arm bars?
We have he actually just posted something on Instagram the other day. We were talking about it. Him and his son, they were doing the same arm bar when Professor VJ was in a tournament. It was a black belt. I think it was Worlds or Pans, and he did the arm bar and he was upside down, and then Gabriel did it. I think it was Pan Ams. He did it.
That's cool.
Yeah, and I have clips like that too, man. Like the same arm bar, same exact arm bar. Yeah, so
That's awesome.
so that's one thing I feel like he's helped me a lot with is that arm bar.
That's good. And I feel like talking to you and meeting you, I think he was really able to share the jiu-jitsu values with his team, you know, like
I think more than technique, I'm glad you said that. More than technique, he was more like a second dad for me. Like he really showed me a lot of things outside the mat than just inside the mat. Obviously, great jiu-jitsu, but it was more the other things. And he still does today. I mean, if I'm slipping on something, he'll make sure he tells me. But yeah, that was like core values. I know we were saying that with the kids when you start at a young age, especially in jiu-jitsu, you kind of get the value of a lot of things, not just jiu-jitsu, like outside school, like just being attentive in things and having priorities, having your priorities straight. You know, you have an obligation, you do it. You're not shying away from it. You don't. And he's helped me with all of those things. I think the easiest way to say is more becoming a man. Becoming a man instead of just like, you know, going about things in a shy way.
Yeah, that's really important. Has like somebody around you, you know,
For sure.
to help you on that journey. You know.
true. And and your father is a black belt too,
Yes,
right?
he is.
So did you bring him to jiu-jitsu?
I did, actually. I did. Yeah. He saw me. He was watching me when I was a kid when I first started with my friend. But my friend's dad and my dad started together. So it was really cool. He had stopped
On
training.
that time before VJ or after?
Yeah, before. Yeah, before.
Nice.
So he started 2006 too. And yeah, he kept training through Vicente. He had some back surgery, so he took some time off. So I ended up getting my black belt like a year before he did, and then he got his, which was really cool, man.
Nah, that's cool. And on the mat, you're like, on that side, gotta respect.
yeah. He's about your size, so maybe not. I won't say that to him.
Vicente said, guys, you're making me cry here.
I talk a little bit about Vicente too, but I think that's important to everyone who's watching today. He posted on his Instagram, I think 2 days ago, about like the parents supporting the kids or like pushing to mud, you know. He gave like 5 tips there. I don't remember all the 5s, but I really appreciate he did this a share on the same time. He post and boom share, because this is like, don't coach your kids when they're in the class. You know, stay there for he win or lose. Some other tips he did. He like a jiu-jitsu black belt competitor, and also he's a daddy of a kid who's doing jiu-jitsu.
Right.
And competing.
I think he's like all his is really important, and in both aspects. Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
For sure. I think my dad was pretty good at that. He would always very quiet when I was training, even if I was getting beat up or whatever the case was. He was very quiet and very supportive. Always there. Always there.
I think that's the most important. Be there.
Yeah.
Win or lose, man. Like, bro.
Lose a tournament. Drive 4 hours to New York.
Especially if you don't train, if you're partner, you don't train, man, be there to support. Right. Or give a try. Train to see how hard your kid do you understand? Because some parents don't understand. Just get there like, get up, get up. Like, it's a lot of the things behind this get up. You gotta, you know. It's like
sometimes I do. My dad also support me a lot. You know, without him and my mom, I don't think I would make it. Many times my dad would see a tournament, it's like, why are you not going to compete? It's like, maybe expensive. Like, you gotta go. We find a way. You gotta go do it. You know. And but one thing talk about parents seeing the kids, the challenge for the kids. Sometimes we do like women's self-defense, right, or family class, and the parents, some parents they can't even do the warm up. They're like, oh my God, I'm never gonna push them to do the squat as much as I do now, you know, because they can feel.
Now they understand.
They understand and they feel the challenge, you know. I think by stepping in,
you humble yourself for sure. We had a few parents that some of my students, their parents just started training in the fundamentals class, and dude, like it changed their whole mentality around jiu-jitsu. Like they're great. They were obviously not overstepping any boundaries as like a parent to the coach, but they started training and now they understand things way more.
True. That happens.
Right.
I think that's important, you know. And I feel, I'm not a parent yet, but I feel when you do something that your kid does, like basketball, whatever it is, you know, they tend to listen. There's a psychologist talking about this. They tend to listen to you differently. Because you guys share the same love and you actually practice the same thing, so you have the same feeling, or you have a similar feeling of what that is, you know, and your kid tends to listen to you in many other aspects of life, you know, just because of you guys share the same common love for that sport.
I agree for sure. Yeah, definitely.
I have a fundamentals class on the same time than the kids class. The parents who's train give me like no problem. You know, that's like they understand way easier, or they just busy on them attitude, try survive, don't get choked, and he not gonna think about it, like, you know. That's the best thing.
True. And what are your plans for like the future? Like as a black belt, what is your plan in competition?
Yeah, definitely. Right now is competing. I've competed a lot this year. I've gotten quite a few silver medals. I've gotten about 4 silver medals this year, so definitely winning some tournaments, doing some PBJJF tournaments with you guys. You guys are doing a great thing. But yeah, right now just competing, and I'm hoping next year I can get enough points to be able to do IBJJF World as well. And then that'll be my first time at black belt. That's always been like a dream. I'm sure every kid that started jiu-jitsu and stuck with it, that's like their dream. Like, I want to be on the black belt mat. I want to compete there. So that's definitely a big goal of mine. So hopefully next end of May I'll be able to compete. Almost have enough points now. But long-term goal, definitely have my own gym. I want to own a gym, own a team, run a team, and then we'll see how that goes. But that's definitely end goal is.
Nice,
gym.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
And you're very young, 24 years old. That's awesome. I think my first black belt was I fought at 24.
24.
I got my 26, 16. 24. The first time I fought the awards on the black belt, 24.
That's awesome.
Next to compete the finals.
Not this year, not this
2
year.
years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago I did the finals.
Black belt
That's
final,
awesome.
big deal.
That's like
He was supposed to win, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because somehow Somehow they changed the rules that the guy that lost came back to fight against Nicolas
Okay.
Meregali. Do you remember this? I don't think if you remember that.
Yeah, it's a case like Melegari flip his fingers
for people.
for the people. He got disqualified, but also he beat Vitor on the final, and they're supposed to don't have nobody on the final on the other side. And I went on the final on the other side. Do you understand? And it's like no winner on the semi-final, and they come to me, or it's not gonna have the final. You the winner. I'm like, oh yes, cool. 1 hour later, like no, you're gonna do the final with Vitor back to the mat.
I've never heard of that. Yeah, that's crazy.
That's what happened last time. But he did his job. He jumped there, like he beat me, but that final supposed to don't happen. But I did all the I get in a semifinals with Bochecha 19.
I've watched.
Yeah, they got like that's supposed to be my. The semi-final has the feeling by the final because on the semi-year I fought with the I close out Pan Ams with Ricardo on the semi-year. Like in March I give the title to him, you know, my teammate, and like since that he like if you get in the final together in the world title is yours, you know. I'm like cool, that deal, you know.
That's a good deal.
Yeah, and then like because he a little bit older than me too already, you know. He did many finals, and the same year he made the finals on one side, and I was in the semi-final with Bochecha, you know. If I beat Bochecha, it's my final. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the semi-final has like
that's a tough match.
Tough match, yeah.
That's a tough match.
It's good. I start very good, but I don't know how Bochecha turned off. I tell like every time I watch this fight, I say like, man, there's no way. That's my position. I get in a half guard on the hook. I'm like, or I gonna pass or nobody moving anymore. Do you understand? And I can be there because I already win by 2 points. On my mind, I'm like, done.
I'm winning.
Yep. It's like 7 minutes already. But do you know when like I have that feeling before when everything you do going right. When you come like with a lot of wins, like your energy is like you find a way to be a champion. Do you understand? And I feel that's what happened on this mat. He just find a way because the sweep he did it. I try.
Sweep. It was he just muscled through.
Yeah, he start to move it, boom, boom, boom. Both pants come up in a double leg, and I'm like, I try reply these at the gym many times after. I get in the same position, put good guys there, like good, like big guys. Like, man, let's go, move. Let me see what I did wrong. And if I did nothing wrong, he just should be able to come up. Do you understand? Like, fuck, it's crazy. But that's the aura, the like champion thing.
For sure.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone gets that, you know, that it's almost like a superhuman feel. I'm sure I can only imagine you step onto the black belt mats, you have everybody watching you, you get a different feel.
Different feel, yeah.
It's a different feel. So that's definitely the goal for next year. Go compete there. If I make it to like now they got like the 2 mats for the semifinals and the 1 match.
And it's Sunday now, fighting this Sunday.
I was there this year, man. I was so not upset, but just disappointed. Like, man, I could have been here. I could be competing here. Diego Pata won my division this year at light feather against Mayram McQueen. He's really good.
Yeah,
that was a really good match.
I'm a big fan. These both guys got a beautiful jiu-jitsu, really nice. I'm a big guy, but I really like to watch these small guys compete too. You know,
they move a lot. For sure.
Who are the guys that you look up nowadays for like improvement? You know, like athletes.
Yeah, for sure. Professor Vicente, definitely. When I was growing up, you know, the Mendez brothers were like super high level. Cobrinha, those are guys in my division. Lovato Jr. is the American guy that was coming up. That was really good. And Musamechi. Like those guys are people I've always looked up to. They're a little bit older. And Musamechi's like around the same age as me. He's a little bit older than me, but definitely someone I looked up to. I don't think he lost any belt. Like he won blue belt, purple belt.
He won all belts awards. Yeah,
worlds. Yeah, that's crazy.
And 3 times, I think.
3 times in a
black belt. Yeah.
He will be the American biggest
sure.
to win for a long time. I think so.
100%. How do you guys feel about him doing the no-gi stuff over in Singapore at one?
He do well. I like.
You think it was a good idea?
He wanna make money, man. Monetize,
Yeah.
That's what he do now. He go there, submit people, put 50 grand on a bank account, live in Singapore is not that expensive, you know.
It's not a bad plan.
It's not a bad plan.
Yeah.
Like when you comparable, he already make his goals, be a world champion. He did that 3 times. Now he need to monetize. If I'm on his shoes, I'll do the same.
And also his media. I think he's building up his media, you know, because after one, people outside of the jiu-jitsu world
Start following him.
or like seeing him, you know, like even he was hanging out with Zuckerberg, you know, like the other guys. So
because he's like, you know, Gordon Ryan, but Musumeci's like the not the evil side, the good side of jiu-jitsu. I feel like he's up there though. He's definitely like one of the more popular jiu-jitsu guys. He's such a nice person too. I've never met him personally,
and people love him. People
on videos,
and people love him. That's good.
he's a true martial art artist.
That's what it definitely seems like for sure.
Like singing, you know, from
Yeah, I met him couple times. We're not friends, but like I met him couple times, and he very humble. You know, like talk to everyone. Professor, try to speak Portuguese. I love that, man. He like it. Every time we met each other, I go talk to him in English and he reply in Portuguese. I'm like, okay, he wanna practice, you know, like, and you don't see that much in like English is a universal language. You know, people.
Something me and JP were actually talking about. Actually, when he came by the Smoothie King was, black belts should learn some Portuguese at least. I feel like that should be like a common thing, especially in the United States. I'm actually learning myself a little too.
That's all I get here, and they're like, "Bom dia."
That's like cool. Actually have a conversation yet, but I'm going to Brazil with Professor at the end of this month, and my goal is to be able to try and teach a technique in Portuguese. I think that's important though.
Nice.
The culture is very important.
Where are you guys going? Rio de Janeiro. Maceió. Nice. Yeah, his city, yeah. His state,
I think
he's from Maceió.
He was from São Paulo,
and then he moved.
Got it.
And but I think it's important. Like we're actually talking to a company to like work in a product that we could use that to teach Portuguese for jiu-jitsu practitioners. You know, like that was we were talking to that company. Remember? Like we're like, hey guys, there's a need for this product. You should create a product for this niche.
Hey, you don't know for sure. You know, but like I think like 80% of my students, I told to download Duolingo already. I need to get some cash back from Duolingo, you know. And I'm sure like all the professors, all the black belts doing the same, you know. Cause like, hey, how I say that? I'm like, hey, download Duolingo. You're gonna learn a lot, you know. And if you have a product to sell, people buy, people do, for sure. And another idea we have too, we talk to these guys, do like a course for like a Brazilian guys, but like guiding them to teaching jiu-jitsu, learn how to, you know, in English.
They do this.
Not just like
Melky Galvo, right? He teaches his students English at his gym, right?
Mel Galvão, yeah. Like I saw Dream Arts did that before too. I don't know if they keep on doing. But something online, you know, like to sell, not just at the gym, because you can sell, you can put this program inside the gym for sure. But if you have like some platform online, and then like, because we get black belts everywhere, man. Brazil is huge. You know, maybe this guy don't have like, do have a black belt in Maceió. They don't have much big schools there. But he's dreaming and like get his visa, come to SA, maybe get a school, you know. If he can prepare himself, English is, I think, is the English and be a black belt is like on the same level. Maybe English is even more important.
You can teach all the everyone.
You can share your knowledge, you know. Like even on UFC, you see the guys that don't speak English. They don't promote those guys because they can't sell the fight, you know.
And I think that will be a good. That's funny you said that. I think that will be good for me as well. Like, you know, if a few years from now, if I'm fluent in Portuguese, then I think IBJJF, PBJJF, you guys, it's easier to promote me. I speak
both languages.
Both languages.
We go to Brazilian national, and people really love when you come to their culture and you speak their language. You know, you see artists all over the world. They go to country, they learn at least some words to say. You know, Bruno Mars was in Brazil, he was like
He
said
did the song,
gatinha something,
Yeah.
and people love it. You know, like people really. I think people appreciate when you try to learn the language. You know,
Yeah.
I think that's kind of cool thing. You know, when you're coming to a new culture.
Yeah.
I tried to learn a few words.
Culture of
I tried to learn some words when I see like some grandparents. They're from different country, like any other. country.
JP know minimum one words in like
A
10
lot of
languages. Minimum
because
10
the
languages.
grandparents didn't speak that. I was like, I would ask the kids, "Hey, how do you say this in this language? How do you say this in this language?" And I learned a little bit.
That's pretty cool.
And I make fun in the kids' class. I was like, "Guys, I'm gonna speak Russian," and then I say the words that I know. It's like, oh,
No, he knows Russian.
I speak all languages. What language? And then I fake sometimes. Like, I say whatever, and then I say Greek. I was like, oh yeah, that's awesome.
That's funny.
I play so much with the kids in the kids class. I love working with the kids.
Dude, me too. That is, I think that's another reason why I wanted to open a gym. It's the kids, man. They give you, it's a different feel than competing. Like you watch them compete, you watch them grow up, and
True.
they become really good competitors or just really good people, really good kids in general, and it makes you feel like you've done something.
A better person,
Better
man, in the
person.
future. I feel
Yeah.
like for sure you go connect with good competitors, good jiu-jitsu players, but like jiu-jitsu changed too much lives.
Oh yeah,
Too much lives.
including mine.
Yeah.
Including mine. I mean, just relationships you've built. Like sitting here talking with you guys today, something I would have never been able to do if it wasn't for jiu-jitsu. So
Yeah.
things like that are important. Traveling, I love to travel now because of it. Learning Portuguese.
Man.
Small
Hey,
things like
travel
that.
is one of the things I most like to do.
Me too.
It's like travel to compete. Oh my God, man.
Yeah.
That's like. Now I do less than before. It's like I marry, has my daughter, has the school, PBJJF, you know.
I don't
But
have
like-
those responsibilities
yeah,
just
but
yet, so I still have
Even
Enjoy.
travel to do
Yeah.
our tournaments, I really like it, you know. Like I'm not gonna compete, but be there, involved, met new people, you know, like different codes, whatever. Like has this connection. I love. That's something I love
Facing
to
the
do.
challenge and learning.
Facing the challenge.
Because we're in a phase that we have a lot of.
Oh,
We have a lot of challenge.
Yeah.
And challenge are. We try to learn from jiu-jitsu. Challenge are something that you want to face so you can get better.
Yeah.
You know, like, and or sometimes we talk. I was like, man, let's enjoy the moment. This is the learning process for us. You know, we're learning a lot.
every day.
And most
Every
of
day.
people are going to quit through the challenge, but we know that challenges are just something to help us improve, you know. And I think having this mindset from jiu-jitsu is what keep us moving forward.
That's
you know,
true.
like
And other
facing
things, yeah,
challenges.
Now, if you stop on the first challenge, we just doing one event.
What would be done, you know? And we think bigger, and then, man, we really think very big. And we're going through the challenge and like, man, how are we gonna achieve this? We just know that we just gotta keep going, doing, over and over and over, drilling, practicing,
Exactly.
showing up,
Yeah.
doing it, investing. You know, like we invest a lot in the PBJJF organization.
I can tell. Definitely just
So-
from like the first few tournaments I've been to compared to now, been with the kids, you can tell for sure you guys are doing an amazing job.
And every event, you're gonna see something new, different, something better.
Yeah.
Every single event, we're gonna find a way to improve. So
Hey, I'm sorry, but Vicente put here the 5 tips.
you want me to read it?
Yeah, please.
5 tips. Let's go to number 5. Lead by example. 4. Choose a good school. I guess Conquest, Ogogi, Culture of Jiu-Jitsu. You guys gonna go pretty well on
Yes,
all
sir.
those schools and many other schools. Really appreciate the hard work a lot of professors are putting to building Jiu-Jitsu, and if they represent Jiu-Jitsu well, we all benefit from it.
Exactly.
Some professor that's doing a great job, it's going to impact us. A bad job is going to impact
you,
us
yeah.
as well, you know.
I
And
think everyone in the community.
Yeah.
Anybody
everyone in the
Sure.
community. 3, trust the coach. Very important. 2, competition. Do not lead. Do not let. Do not. Do not. Do nothing. Let the coach decide. Just be there for them. 1 is their journey, not yours. That's pretty good.
That's a big one for the
Yeah,
parents.
that's a big one.
I see that happening a lot of times. I don't see that happen. I hear stories happening from when parents push the kids to college sports so they can get scholarship, and they go so hard that they ended up breaking the kid, right?
Break the kid, burns the kid out. They don't want to do it anymore. It's a lot of things that happens for sure. I think it's definitely happened in my kids' class. Like, for this year's PANS, like we had a lot of kids training super, super hard. Sometimes even twice a day. Some of the kids are homeschooled, and if you're pushing them, 6 days a week, give them 1 day of rest, and sometimes not even 1 day of rest. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
You take a year or two of that, and you're gonna burn the kid out. He may not even want to do jiu-jitsu anymore, or whatever sport he's doing. It's a lot, for sure.
That's true.
Yeah, I've seen that a lot before. Like, no, you go compete, and you saw the kid don't wanna do. Sometimes, you know what I mean, and the parents keep pushing, and give him a break here. Your kid don't need to compete like every weekend. Do you understand? Maybe if people are just kidding. No.
You want to be the best.
But like you can give your kid a break, man. You don't need to like 4 times a month, 5 times a month. That's too much,
Let them give them the option if they want to do or not. I think always they need to decide if they want to do or not.
I feel like when like a group going is easy. The kids get motivated. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's like
You have a
4,
good team.
5, 6,
Good, yep.
6 kids going competing. Like all the kids like motivated. Like when like sometimes you go by yourself far away or whatever, the kids
I used
kind
to
of
have
like
to do that.
Yeah. But you was by yourself anyway.
Me and my dad.
Yeah.
Did it for a long time.
I have couple students travel a lot to compete, everywhere. Even my tournaments, I'm getting a tournament in Charlotte one time. I was not able to be there, and they travel to compete. I like that push is good, help them
As long as they want it.
grow
They
it.
want it.
But if the kid wanna do, that's fine. If you feel they don't wanna do, or ask that, hey, do you wanna compete next weekend? Do you wanna compete in 2 weekends? But if they say yes, good. Like, I don't know, I want to play baseball or whatever. Give me a break.
Yep.
You understand?
And you're talking about the kids traveling. A lot of kids now, they're looking the PBJJF ranking, so they want to be number 1 ranked. So we see them traveling all over the PBJJF tournament. We're doing
Trying to
Boston.
compete all over them, yep.
There's people ready from here registering Boston,
North
Charlotte.
Carolina,
Like we're going
Pennsylvania,
all over. I want to see when we go to Texas, how many people from here will go.
That's
going
a
to
bit big.
Yep. That's a
But it's
5-hour
not
flight,
like
4-hour
I
flight.
said, nothing wrong with that. If the kids want to do,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I feel like don't force them to do it if they don't want to.
Do you teach kids? Next?
Not anymore now. Like I have 2 mats on the same time, and I bring Marcia Karina. She's a black belt, and she run my kids program now.
Awesome.
Some class I'm able to be on the mat with her, but she run the program. You understand?
Yeah,
I'm like
awesome.
kind of her helper.
Yeah.
You understand?
Really
And
cool.
because we have like class at the same time, our class starts like at 5 for kids, 5:30 starts my fundamentals class. Do you understand? And then like I go through. Then she has 2 more classes, and I'm teaching on the side. You
So you're
understand?
teaching mostly just like the adults? Instead of
Yes,
fundamentals,
yeah.
levels.
I teach all the program for adults. Only the morning class, I'm not
You're
there.
not. So you're there every day. Every day teaching.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I teach 6 days out of the week, sometimes 7 if we do like the kids comp class on Sunday.
Yeah.
So I'm there every day teaching too.
But I miss the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah,
3
I
days
really-
with kids, 3 days with the adults. It's pretty cool.
I really miss teaching the kids a little bit. The little ones, man. I don't know. I teach kids all my life. I feel the little ones is like big. I love being around them, but it's a big challenge
Very
to
big
do.
challenge.
I'm like the 7 years old above. I'm way more happy to do.
The little kids is just like getting them to move. like understanding like body movement and stuff. It's not even real jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Maybe a takedown.
Hey, my daughter, 2 years old, man, she's on the mat now 4 or 5 days a week.
That's awesome.
And like she won. That's the most fun because she see the other kids. She's always at the gym before, and Marcia said, "Let's she try." I'm like, "Hey, she gonna make your class harder because she don't listen." She's only 2 years old. Hey, she do all the moves, man. That's she awesome. Pay attention. She pay attention more than the 4 years old for real, because she be there like looking Marcia, like it's hard to teaching like arm bar to her, right. But like the warm up, set up, the breaking falls, she doing, and I'm
basic
like,
movements.
That's cool, that's awesome.
Do you have mats at your house? You train with her?
I don't train much with her, but I have like a small mat I can set up in my garage.
That's cool.
But I don't train. I play on a living room like butt sculls, arm drag, double leg that, and she come around like just she hug my legs, but not like train.
Yeah, my sister, she was competing for a long time when we were younger, and we used to go to all these tournaments. She was really, really good. Before she stopped, she barely lost. I think I saw her lost one time, but she would do like a lot of the tournaments with me, and then she ended up stopping. But that was something that I think helped us both out a lot. Was like, just training together, like having that relationship. I think it made us closer too. I think with your kids, like
my wife is a blue belt, and
awesome.
Now she back training a little bit harder, and she asked me these days like, hey, let's put the mats in the garage. I want you to show me like some things. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool, because I don't like much cheating her.
He's a free private.
Yeah, like it's kind of like she listen, but if example I'm start to coaching her like, hey, doing this, doing that, she get like. You try to I don't know. It's hard. I prefer like she do Marcia class. Marcia teach the women's class too. I'm like, hey, go on to Marcia's class. Don't come to my class. But she comes sometimes. Yesterday she was in my class, and it's good because I see she did in some movies. I show her. That's make me happy.
That's cool.
Yeah, good stuff. And what are your hobbies? Do you have any hobby? Anything that?
Yeah, for sure.
You can't say like no gi, Yeah, I do jiu-jitsu and gi, and my hobby is no gi.
Train no gi once a week. I need to start training more maybe. But no, I've always like played a lot of sports when I was growing up. Like I was always outside. I don't know if I was like one of the last generations coming up that I always had a phone, but
probably with the last generation.
I was outside a lot more.
Yeah.
So I was like riding the bikes, playing basketball, football, American football, soccer, things like that. But now it's like I do play a lot of video games.
What do you play?
Time. I play Call of Duty, GTA, Grand Theft Auto sometimes, and recently a little bit of Fortnite. I know it's like the little kids game, but yeah, exactly.
The kids love that.
Yep. I'll play some video games, but mostly, man, I've been working and training a lot. I've spent time with my girlfriend. That's about it.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
And your girlfriend's Brazilian, right?
Yeah, she is.
Nice.
I think that gave me a good influence to learn some Portuguese
Yeah,
too.
for sure, man.
Yeah.
What about shooting? Vicente like to shoot a lot, man. Let's learn.
I shot once. I went shooting one time.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's true.
I did one time too, but I really like. I want to learn more. When I have time, I think I told you, JP, like I want to do the outside shooting is cool.
Yeah, get with the professor. He's a really good instructor now.
Yeah. Hey, my brother will be here by next month.
Sure.
That's awesome.
Let's go, sure. Yeah, let's try. We can try set up with VJ, and he give you. He did a course. He told me.
Yeah.
We can he can help us.
Yeah.
He's good too, man. Handguns, ARs, is it all?
And I think in our area we have a lot of military people too. I have so many students. They're like special force
or police. I feel like that's big, which is good for jiu-jitsu, man. That's awesome.
It's good.
It's great.
Yeah.
I think it's really important,
I say half of the students at Conquest are probably law enforcement or military.
Last weekend I did a seminar at ARM. It's cool. It's like very beginner things, but it's nice. I'm really happy when they stopping by and asking for the seminar.
And one thing, we have our, I think we picked already our two guests for our members. Actually, they're here. Ron and Will Caswell.
Yeah, they will come from the podcast. It would be awesome. There was a member on our...
And Ron said Call of Duty, he does play. If people want to find you on Call of Duty, how they
So now it's like it's like a hashtag and then some numbers after. But my name like on the game is Rookie. Rookie.
Rookie.
Yeah, Rookie.
Like on the pandemic, I play a little bit, and I
Okay.
sell my PlayStation. And
Right.
then JP come like, hey, I will buy a PlayStation 5. We need to play soccer, like FIFA, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, let me get one too. But he beat me up so much, I stopped playing with him.
I like FIFA too.
I'm like, well,
But
it's like,
the good,
it's not
Gimenis is
even,
good.
it's not even close. Like, man, first time we played, 5-0. So I'm like, fuck.
It just gets worse and worse.
Worse than, and I'm
But
like,
I didn't have the last video game I had was PlayStation 2 growing
Okay.
up, and I played. I think the only game I played was Winning 11.
Okay.
Now I think it's PES, right? I think you call
Yeah.
PES.
Yeah.
But I never played, like games. And then I bought this video game, and then we started playing FIFA. It feels like, and then we gotta bring Gabriel and Vicente. We
Yeah.
gotta bring the FIFA.
Gabriel play a lot of
Gabriel's
FIFA.
good at FIFA.
Yeah.
I don't
So-
want to play Gabriel.
Yeah.
No thanks.
We need to do this challenge. You do like PBJJF versus
We can
Gabriel.
play Gabriel. Look it up on the TV.
Yeah.
PBJJF versus VJT.
VJT.
I'm on Gabriel's team.
Yeah. I do.
Call of Duty I try, but man,
It's hard, man. Every time I leave the
you get killed.
the fly. Blah, 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 what the
Warzone. Yeah,
fuck?
playing Warzone. Yeah.
Warzone is so hard, man.
I was
So hard.
Warzone 1 was like one of my favorite. Warzone 2 is a little It's not really. I don't enjoy it as much. But Warzone 1, that game was fun.
I like to
that
play
all day.
the Call of Duty, but I forget the name. But kind of like a team.
Uh-huh.
Like you create a team, it's like 3 guys here, 3 guys there, and you play like inside like
In the circle.
in a circle.
Warzone. Yeah.
That's the Warzone,
You
yeah.
drop in off the plane.
No, it's
Come
not.
down.
It's not the one. Warzone, I die all the time.
Okay.
It's another one, and I forgot the name. I played on a couple times on a pandemic time.
Man, it's multiplayer.
Multiplayer.
Yeah,
Multiplayer.
yeah.
This was a little bit easier, you know.
People
I didn't-
die
I
a
didn't
little
know
easier.
that.
Yeah.
I played
On the Warzone, you die all the time. It's
I
too
think
hard.
the
You have to
easier for
restart.
me is the
And restart.
DMZ.
DMZ, yeah, that's the new
DMZ.
one. You know what's funny? My dad actually plays the new Call of Duty a lot more than I do. He likes DMZ though. That's funny.
It's
Yeah.
easier to not get killed, I guess.
It's that, and there's more other things to do. I think you can do like missions and stuff
Missions,
like
yeah.
inside. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I don't know the missions. I just go to shoot.
I start a UFC career on a video game.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know how to do it in the beginning. I get in the first fight, beat the guy, boom, second turn, and then I lost. I'm like, fuck, I started lost. My name started to get a little fat, and then I discovered you need to train on the game too. So you need you
Bench
contact
press and stuff.
yeah, man,
Yeah.
you go train your physical, go train like my strike. You can contact all the codes, whatever. It's like a history behind. It's nice, and then you don't start in UFC. You start like in small promotions, and growing up. Now I'm a UFC champion.
What do you think the biggest difference between competing in MMA versus jiu-jitsu?
Huge. Now I don't even get to stress when I go do jiu-jitsu.
I don't know if you know Patrick Rivera, but
Yeah.
he's
No, he's my big friend.
He's very. He said. I mean, I've talked to him a little bit about it, but like he said some of the similar things. Like jiu-jitsu is like nothing compared to like.
But
standing in the
before I
ring.
always get very very stressed doing jiu-jitsu. And I did
You care about
MMA.
it. You care about winning.
Yeah, but I still get a little bit nervous, But like man, nothing worse can happen. Maximum we lost,
Right.
I'm not gonna get beat up, and nothing can broke or whatever, MMA, I feel the MMA is too many things can happen.
Yep.
Too many things.
You get caught one
And
time.
Yeah, bad injuries
and bad
can happen.
injuries,
And injuries.
Yeah, but like the roast time for me, when you stand in the cage, you look to the other side, and somebody behind here lock the door. Clack.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. But man, can be like crazy around. You can hit it.
The door really.
The door
You
closed.
get heightened senses
Yeah.
when you're inside the ring.
It's like clack, and I'm like, man, there's no way I gotta fight this guy. And I was like, nobody can do nothing for me, man. Just myself here,
Right.
That's the hard part. But like soon that starts. It's a war now, just fought, but the feeling before, the week before, is way different than jiu-jitsu.
You fought, your last fight was at Maryland Live?
Yeah, Live Casino. I'll fight in 4 weeks now.
Nice.
What
weight do you fight at?
Heavyweight.
Is it 205,
205 is light heavyweight.
Okay.
Heavyweight is 260. 265, 265, okay. Yeah.
If you want to get tickets to watch Max.
Yeah, send me a message, DM me on the Instagram. I still have couple tickets. Not much, but I still have like couple tickets on the 105 seat and on the 75.
Where's this one going to be at?
Live Casino.
Same
on
one?
Live Casino, yeah. And also, guys, tomorrow, Gutenberg Pereira will host a seminar at my school. It's not a seminar, we call like a camp. It will be 4 classes, 2 classes on Saturday, 2 classes on Sunday, gi and no gi. 10 a.m. gi, 4 p.m. no gi, Sunday, same thing, or same time, but like opposite way. No gi first, gi after. Send me a message, stop by, you can open to all schools. Gutenberg, one of the best jiu-jitsu competitors on these times now. My big friend, I'm really happy to bring him here to my school. I hope we have time to do like a podcast with Gutenberg. It would be awesome to hear him about his journey. I know most, but I like to share with you guys. I be part about most that journey. Like I saw he get in the gym in Brazil. We live at the gym together for he lived there longer than me. I was moving first, and then he moved to SA, and I moved to the same place, we teaching together, living together, and then he back to Brazil, and I moved to Maryland. That's like a resume now. It's a lot of things behind that. I hope you'll be able to do this podcast with him.
That'll be cool.
Yeah.
And
open to everyone.
I have an event tomorrow also at El Gogi, a women's workshop. So any women is welcome, free. So women's self-defense workshop. Everybody's free. Do you guys have any event coming up? Anything coming up?
I know Pat Rivera. I think he's on the same card as you. I
yep.
believe. Yeah. He's it's October 7th.
October 7th.
October 7th, and they got an MMA fight. So hit up Max or Pat for some tickets. For sure.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Some really good fights. I've watched you fight many times. You're amazing, and Pat's a really good fighter too. So.
Hey, that was great, man.
That was great, man. Yeah. Thank you for your time, man.
Thank you for having me. I
hope
really
you had a
appreciate
good time with us.
Yes, for sure. Thank you, guys.
And before we go, we want to give you another shout out to our sponsors. They really make this happen. We're powered by them. So Brave Kimonos, the best jiu-jitsu gi in the market. Santos Law Firm, you're probably gonna need them soon some point. Santos Law Firm is a high-profile immigration service, so they go from marriage to athlete's visa to any immigration law service you need. They're the best and the only one to go. And Perkins Dental Care, the best dental care in the Baltimore area for you and for your family. So if you need any dental service, Perkins Dental Care. Stamped by PBJJF.
Yeah. Brave Kimonos. Shout out for Brave Kimonos. And if you are a school owner, man, Brave Kimono has the best program for you. The wholesale program from schools. I do at my school, and that's the best thing I did. I do
too.
JP doing, other friends doing too. I highly recommend. If you're on a school, check it out our website. Do your application for the wholesale program, and that will be awesome for your school.
I do wholesale, but I do custom products. I have to order way more, but I do custom products. So they also do custom gis, embroidery, all designed for you as well. It takes some time for me, but also do the if you need quick products, you can go to Brave Kimonos website and go on the bottom of the page, and you're gonna see wholesale. you can apply for the wholesale account, you get approved, and then you can start purchasing the products with large discounts, so you can resell the Brave products at your gym. And also, man, if you wear good gears, good products, your chance of winning is 30% higher.
Looking good, man. Fight good. Yeah, feel good, look good. That's really important.
Yeah. Do you want to give a shout out to someone?
Yeah, just Vicente Junior team. We've been killing it this year with a lot of the kids, man. I know I mentioned them earlier, but yeah, thank you guys. Thank you for having me. Really appreciate it.
Always, man.
Thanks, Mike. We're looking forward to see you at Worlds.
Yes, sir. I will be there.